welcome to my channel. My name is San and I'm here to talk about skincare. So I know it's been a hot minute. I'm really sorry about that. I got really busy all of a sudden, but there's loads for me to cover today, loads I want to talk about, so let's just pick up where we left off, shall we? Today we're going to talk about steps in a skincare routine that will specifically target issues you may be facing with your skin. So for example, dullness, imperfections, oily skin, dry skin, etc, etc. In my last video, I talked about the fundamental skincare steps, the basics of the basics, to help you achieve healthy and happy skin. Now, unless you've got the rare but incredibly desired normal skin type, you probably are going to want your skincare to work a little bit harder for you. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about those skincare steps that will do exactly that. And that includes toners, essences, and ampoules/serums. It's actually an incredibly blurry line at times as to what is the difference between a toner or an essence, or even to an extent the difference between an ampoule and a serum. Sometimes two products can have the exact same texture but be labeled different things. So, one might be a toner, one might be an essence, or sometimes you may be faced with two toners or two essences that have a completely different texture. I'm going to go through each of these steps one by one and try to explain what each step is meant to do for you. Starting with toners. Toners. I actually really love toners. Back in the day when my skincare routine was just wash my face in the morning and then, apply something to try to control my oiliness, and then in the evening just apply some sort of treatment to treat the acne I was dealing with. A friend introduced me to a toner, and that actually really opened my eyes to why we should be using a little bit more than just a treatment in a skincare routine. So I'm a big fan of toners, but again, it's not a fundamental step, so if you don't want one in your routine, you do not have to have one. But enough about me in any case. What are toners actually marketed for? So remember, in the fundamental steps for a healthy, happy skin, you need to wash your face, either in your morning routine or your evening routine. So you've washed your face. The thing is, soapy water has a pH level of about 9.5, and just water that's not even soapy has a pH that's anywhere from 6.5 to 9.5. And in my previous video, I explained that skin functions best, or at least the skin barrier will perform its best in protecting your skin from bad bacteria and promoting the health of your skin when it's maintained at pH levels of about 5.5. Once you've washed your face, you are going to want to bring the pH levels of your skin surface back down to about 5.5. And that's what's going to help your skin retain moisture and keep anything infectious out. Because as I mentioned in my previous video, as your skin's pH climbs higher, it becomes more susceptible to infection and damage. So that's essentially what toners are for. They're there to help you bring the pH levels of your skin back down immediately after cleansing. Or, in more practical terms, they essentially rehydrate your skin. Additionally, you might see other videos online that explain how cleansing can be the harshest step of your skincare routine. Some cleansers really strip that moisture out of your pores to do their cleansing. Some cleansers do that, and the people making them think that is what's going to give you that really clean feeling and get rid of all the gunk and oil on your skin. As a result of that, once you've dried your face after cleansing, your skin is really raw and vulnerable, and certainly not in any position to soak up the goodness of whatever products you may layer on it after that. So some people say that toners act as a bridge in that sense, from cleansing to the more targeted treatment steps of your skincare routine. It's what's going to help your skin really soak up the benefit of those next step products. Now, how do toners generally present themselves? Most of the time, toners are very watery. In some cases, they even come in spray bottles. So this is the Pyongyangil Mist Toner. As you can see, it's just sprayed out. It's very light, very watery. Typically, toners evaporate quite quickly from the surface of the skin. That's where they really act. They only act on the upper layers of your skin. Often, water is the main ingredient, but I'd be careful with that claim because nowadays, manufacturers, or brands rather, are creating more and more of a variety of toners and promoting different ingredients as their star ingredient, which they actually do put a high percentage of. The only thing I'd say is avoid toners where you can see that alcohol is very high up on the ingredient list, because that will dry you out more than anything. To set things out more clearly, let's go through the purposes/benefits of toners. Number 1, restoring your skin's pH balance. That way your acid mantle is back in order and ready to fend off bacteria and retain moisture for your skin to perform at its best. Number 2, and this one is the one I personally use toners for, is that it really preps your skin for the next steps of your routine. So I'm going to use a metaphor that you've probably heard a million times by now, but it's generally the one I favor and think about a lot. Imagine your skin is like the dry soil bed of plants. In order for your products to reach the roots of those plants and really let those flowers bloom beautifully, you can't just put plant food at the top of the soil because it's not going to go anywhere and reach those roots. So toner is like the water that you put on the soil, so then it becomes more permeable and the nutrients in the plant food can actually be absorbed properly. So toners helps the next steps of your skincare routine actually be as effective as you want them to be. Benefit number 3, hydrating. Quite simply, toners are often, hydrating for the upper layers of your skin. And so you'll hear people talk about layers or skins, and it's effectively when you pour a toner into your hand and then pat it on your face, the amount of layers you do there will make a difference. So if you've got dry skin in particular, I highly recommend layering the more liquidy products of your skincare routine because that can really make a difference. And benefit number 4, honestly, anything you really need for your skin these days. Toners now incorporate various active ingredients or, star products that you can benefit from. So if you want a toner that targets a brightening effect or a toner that helps you calm inflammation or whatever, you can probably find that on the market now. Personally, I find the toners that advertise having a slight exfoliating effect to be a rather true claim. I quite like those toners that incorporate AHAs, BHAs, or mandelic acid, whatever. Toners that say they're hydrating, I think, can generally be trusted by people with dry skin who just need more layers of hydration. I struggled for a very long time finding a toner that actually helped with oil control, so a lot of toners out there will advertise that. I just find that often they make my skin feel sticky, but I do have a find which I'll mention shortly. There is one other purpose that I've seen people talk about when it comes to toners, so one other objective of toners, and I'm really iffy about it, and I was debating mentioning it at all, but I thought I might as well address it. Some people will advertise or claim that toners can be an extra cleansing step. On one hand, it is true. You absolutely can splash toner onto a cotton pad and wipe away at your face, and if anything's still left on there, it will take it away. So it's not entirely a lie. But I really don't think that's the best approach to toners. Especially, I don't want anyone to think that you can choose a toner thinking this will effectively be the second step in my double cleanse and I'll do this every day. If your cotton pad is coming away every day super gross and grimy, get yourself a better cleanser. It is not your toner's job to clean your face. The only maybe, and again, I'm very unsure about whether I should say this or not, but the only exception is if you've got very dry and sensitive skin and cleansing is irritating you and you really don't want to do that step every day, that's fine. And you may find that splashing toner on your face every morning is enough. That's fine, but I wouldn't say that you're replacing a cleansing product with your toner. Also, when you do use a toner with a cotton pad, if that's something you enjoy doing, great, but I am begging you, be very picky about what cotton pads you are using. Some can be very aggressive and rough on the skin, and that is not good for your skin barrier. Pick gentle cotton pads. Okay, so what are my favorite toners? What are my recommendations? I'm hoping that in the future I'll have a video specifically on toners and I'll review my favorite toners for every skin type, but just for now, my standouts are: number 1, my absolute holy grail is the COSRX AHA BHA Clarifying Treatment Toner. That one's amazing. I thought it was particularly good for someone who's just discovering actives and wants to introduce AHAs and BHAs in their skincare routine. It's great to introduce it through the toner step. It's a mist. I'd spray it on after I've cleansed, and for some reason I don't have it now. I've been through like 3 or 4 bottles, but at this point in time I do not have a bottle, which is really upsetting, and I'll have to order another one soon. It really did help me clear up my acne. I used to have loads of acne like here and here, and it just got rid of it. I was really impressed with that product. So that is my number 1 recommendation if you're dealing with acne. Another recommendation I have, if you're looking for a toner that's really hydrating, the best one I've found so far, and I go to it in the winter, is the I'm From Rice Toner. The bottle is gorgeous, and you know, just for that I'd almost want to recommend it, but it's really nourishing. So if your skin is parched, dry, just apply several skins. It's absolutely beautiful. But also if you've got oily skin, rice water I've found tends to be quite mattifying, so I really enjoyed that, despite, you know, how hydrating it was, despite the fact that I have very oily skin. And finally, where did I put it? The Isntree Green Tea Fresh Toner is beautiful, and I really enjoy it. You know, green tea is once again really great for your skin, has a lot of antioxidant properties, and earlier when I said I was struggling to find any toner that actually holds up on its claims of mattifying the skin, this one does that. I was really impressed. I've been trying out some products that I haven't been too impressed by lately, and they kind of clogged my pores and I was feeling kind of gross and icky, and I got this in an order and I thought, okay, you know, I'm just gonna throw this into my routine. I don't think it's gonna hurt me any more than all these other products have already hurt me, and it really unclogged my pores really quickly. I was very impressed. I also obviously stopped using everything else, but this cleared me up really nicely. Obviously it has a faint green tea smell. I think it's like 97% green tea. It doesn't say on the bottle, but I think it's got a very high percentage of green tea. The brand has gone through the effort of making the star ingredient the main ingredient, and that's always really impressive. It's always really disappointing when a brand advertises a star product, but then when you look at the ingredient list, it's all the way at the bottom. Not great. Whereas this one, no, that's their number 1 ingredient, and I really like it. So for anyone else with oily skin out there, big recommendation, and it's really not expensive. I'll link all the products I mentioned in the description box below. Moving on now to essences. What's an essence? So I've seen in several places, and this actually really bugged me, that the difference between toners and essences is that toners cleanse and essences do not. But again, this is not my approach to toner, so I just sat there thinking, well, what is the difference then actually? In addition, I think there may be some confusion with micellar water here. I don't know. I'm not going to talk about micellar water in my videos because to me it's not only not a necessary skincare step, but also it really doesn't add anything for me at all. So, not a topic I'll be covering here. But I think there may be some confusion between toners in the sense I mean them and micellar water. Quite frankly, I think toners and essences are very similar and it's hard to find a difference. I personally think that toners are more aimed at bringing the pH levels of your skin back down after cleansing, and essences will focus a little bit more on bridging that gap between your cleansing step and the next step in your skincare routine, the more targeted treatment step. So where toners I typically find are very runny and watery, essences start to pick up a little more texture. They tend to be a little bit more viscousy than the toner. But again, texture can vary tremendously from one essence to the next. I think it could also be argued that a difference between toners and essences is that toners hydrate, so they provide moisture to the upper levels of your skin, whereas essences aim to moisturize, so they seek to go a little bit deeper in your skin. To be clear, both do typically evaporate fairly quickly from the skin, but essences do tend to provide a little bit deeper nourishment than toners. From what I've been able to see on the market as well, essences are more likely to pack a higher concentration in their star ingredients than toners. Some ingredients I've often seen battling it out between different essences are probiotics, so fermented ingredients, and any ingredient that essentially provides an antioxidant effect. Also, you will often find toners with a very soothing effect, using, for example, Centella asiatica, or nourishing ingredients like propolis. So the benefits of including an essence in your skincare routine include, first of all, bringing nourishment and deeper moisturizing to the skin. It's always great to try and strengthen your skin barrier whenever you can in your skincare routine, because that will be super beneficial to you in the long run. Notably, if you want to keep fine lines off your face for longer, I wish younger me had known that, then you definitely need an essence in your skincare routine. The next benefit is, once again, anything you really want in your skincare routine. This is an extra opportunity to include some of the ingredients that will push your skin in the right direction. So once again, if for example you want to target your acne, essences nowadays will include ingredients that will help you do that. It's almost like a topical supplement, to be honest. It's going to be a lot less concentrated than your serum or your targeted treatment step, but yeah, a local supplement is always helpful to have. It's like a daily upgrade to your skincare routine. And finally, another big purpose of essences is going to be reaching a more comfortable level of hydration and moisture before applying the targeted steps of your skincare routine. What are my recommended essences? Well, first of all, I'm not going to lie, I don't have a holy grail essence, because to me, on my skin at least, oily skin, once again, they've all performed very similarly. And it may be because the main purpose, of an essence is to hydrate and moisturize, and well, when you've got oily skin, it's hard to notice if your skin really needs that, but I'll come on to that in a moment. So the first product I want to mention is the I'm From Mugwort Essence. It's incredible. I don't know how to put it elsewise. Sometimes the industry puts out products that make you believe you have a problem that you don't actually have, right? Like they put it in your head that you need to heal your skin of X, Y, or Z when really that wasn't a problem you had before. And they do that to make you buy their products. Essentially, it's so soothing. It makes your skin feel so comfortable. It was unbelievable. I never thought I had irritated skin, and I still don't think I do have irritated skin, but essentially this product made me feel like I could reach whole new levels of comfort within my own skin. So yeah, I've only got a sample sized version, but it was enough for me to try it quite a number of times, so really comfortable recommending this one. A few friends around me have tried it and are getting a full bottle immediately, so there's that. I really love it. Next is a product you're all really sick and tired of hearing about, I am sure. It's the Neogen Real Ferment Micro Essence. I'm not really diving into the ingredients here of the products I have, just because these are all products that people have talked about at length, but also that's something I'll go more into in my toner or essence specific video. Everyone's been raving about this and saying that it makes their skin look a lot brighter and healthier and smoother and softer. Do I agree? Not necessarily. It didn't make a wild difference to me at first at all, and once again it may be because I don't have dry skin, I don't have sensitive irritated skin, so maybe this product just wasn't for me, but I'm mentioning it anyway because first of all it sinks in really well. So even though it's meant to be very hydrating and provide a lot of benefits deep into the skin, my oily skin didn't just have it sit on top and make me all shiny and sticky, and that's always really appreciated when you have oily skin. It does make my skin softer, smoother, not necessarily brighter. I don't think that's a claim that I have, but it did make it overall just more uniform and nicer. The texture really improved. Both of the products I just showed have a very watery texture. Well, the Neogen product in particular is like just barely thicker than water. The Mugwort Essence is a little bit thicker and stickier, but the minute it hit my skin, it sinks in so quickly, so do not be put off by that like goopiness to it, I guess. The third product I want to mention has a completely different texture. That one is very sticky almost, I want to say. It's a lot more viscousy, and really annoyingly I don't have it here, but it's the Skin Food Royal Enrich Essence, something like that. I'll put a photo here. And that is the product that taught me that I didn't only have oily skin, but I had oily, dehydrated skin, and that actually nourishing and hydrating my skin was going to improve its appearance so much. And it effectively taught me that by solving that problem for me, which I'm really grateful for. I tried it just because, again, the bottle was beautiful. I loved the idea of putting honey on my skin, but it really got rid of a lot of dullness I was having and just helped my skin regenerate faster, so I wasn't having the acne scarring I used to have and traces of acne sitting on my face for as long as it used to once I actually started moisturizing it properly with that essence. And so it's just a lovely product to use. The dropper is genius. It has a little mechanism by which when you open it, it automatically takes like the right amount for you. Beautiful product. And yeah, if you've got oily skin and you think maybe you might also be dehydrated, give it a shot. It really changed everything for me. My experience with that product is really why I think oily skins, you have to give a chance to moisturizing. There's a very good chance that the lack of moisture is a problem you're just not paying attention to. I know, I've been there. I was definitely afraid of moisturizers. If I put it on during the day, it would make me uber shiny. Like, we're talking disco ball walking around my high school. It was not great at all. And the problem was, if I used a moisturizer at night, often it clogged my pores, or I don't know, it would spread all over my pillow and it'd feel kind of gross. I mean, yeah, I hated using moisturizers, but that was really the product that taught me that, yeah, you have to pay attention to the hydration levels of your skin. Just as a reminder, during this video, I'm not talking about absolutely necessary, fundamental, must-use steps in a skincare routine. I'm just talking about extra steps to the foundation steps, which will help you target any issues your skin may have. So, toners, essences, I personally only use one per routine. I will not layer both in a single routine. If you have very dry skin, maybe you will benefit from layering more and bringing more moisture into your skin, but I might rather recommend just doing several layers of a single product, and I'm going to explore why now. The more products you use in a single routine, the higher the risk of 2 ingredients in 2 separate products not jamming too well on your skin, and it may have a negative reaction as a result. Secondly, the more products you put on your skin, the more different products you put on your skin, will naturally come with the more ingredients overall you're putting on your skin, right? The problem is a lot of products, unfortunately, are formulated with a bunch of positive ingredients for your skin, but then a number of fillers or unnecessary ingredients, and a lot of the time these include, unfortunately, irritants to the skin. So the more different products you're putting in a single skincare routine, the more you're also layering potential sensitizing agents on your skin. Third reason, let's be real, it has a cost to use a bunch of different products, and if it's not strictly necessary, you might want to use your money for different things. Fourthly, a lot of these products only really have a hydrating / moisturizing purpose, or are just there to help you bridge the gap from cleansing to layering some more effective treatments on your skin. So you don't really need to be layering many of those. These products will have been formulated to be efficient and work alone, per se, and so there's not really any point in adding several things that do the same thing when they're each meant to do the job efficiently on their own. Obviously, if you love skincare and can afford to include all these steps in your skincare routine and it makes you and your skin happy to do so, go for it, that's fantastic. But if you can't, then that's also okay. Try to figure out what your skin truly needs based on my descriptions earlier in this video. Personally, I always keep an essence somewhere in my routine and toners float in and out. A lot of them have genuinely done nothing for me. To give it to you plainly, I can't resist going back to the COSRX one I mentioned earlier. That one's really, really great. But other than that one, I'm quite comfortable going without a toner at all. Moving on now to ampoules. Ampoules are a really tricky one because their formulation and, what people think they should do can vary quite a bit. The idea is that ampoules tend to be concentrated or very high in one key ingredient. They are very targeted solutions. Their ingredients list is typically straightforward and simple because they're only aimed at delivering that ingredient into your skin. You can find some ampoules as a result on the market that are designed to act like a cure, almost, and you're not actually supposed to use these every day. These are typically packaged in doses. Yeah, they look like little serums, I guess. But the point is, those are not the ones I'm going to be covering now because I'm talking about your daily skincare routine. Ampoules that can be used daily are very similar to serums. In my completely transparent opinion, they are hardly distinguishable by anything but the little label on the bottle. They often come in droppers and they have a consistency that's often, I'd say thicker than essences, but never creamy like some serums can be. They're light and they absorb fairly quickly. And yeah, they're great because of that targeted, non-irritating effect. If you've got normal to dry skin, you might enjoy incorporating an ampule targeted on hyaluronic acid or maybe propolis to help moisturize your skin. If you've got really dry skin, I think you can even find some ampules whose star ingredient is ceramides. If you've got sensitive skin, but this applies to all skin types, you may really enjoy an ampule that is focused on Centella asiatica or a mugwort ampule. Once again, my absolute fave ampule of all time was the COSRX Centella asiatica ampule. I don't know if they still do that though, I haven't been able to find it in a while, so it may have been discontinued. If you've got combination to oily skin, you might be able to find a niacinamide ampule. And if you're just conscious about delivering a little extra to your skin to protect the skin barrier, I would recommend trying an ampule with probiotics in it, such as, and this is my only real ampule recommendation at the moment, still on the quest for a holy grail for that, Mish's Time Revolution Night Repair Pro Bio Ampule, which, again, it says ampule, but to me this is essentially a serum. Side note guys, really sorry, the sun is setting on me, so I am just going to readjust the lighting and I'm going to be right back. Actually, now that I just mentioned probiotics, I'm going to go on a bit of a tangent about probiotics in skincare. There's actually quite a bit of studies on probiotics in skincare. I had to say probiotics about 3 times to say it right. But all of these studies showed various different effects. We don't have, or at least I couldn't find, a large set of papers solidly confirming that yes, probiotics have this effect. It was a bit of here and there, I guess. So I don't know how convinced I am by that ingredient for a single specific purpose. So there are certainly studies out there that say that probiotics are really good at combating acne. Acne comes from bad bacteria after all, and probiotics is the bacteria that is good for your skin. So what you're effectively doing when you apply probiotics on your skin is strengthening your skin while starving the bad bacteria, which, according to the research, does seem to help soothe inflamed skin. Another claim I see a lot about probiotics is that it helps with anti-aging. But from what I can see in the research, it's not like it repairs the damage already done to your skin. It's more like it will help your skin fight against polluting agents and other skin stressing factors in your environment. And that, in the long run, is what helps your skin age slower, so to speak. I don't know, maybe, though you know what, maybe it's a common mistake. I used to associate anti-aging products, anti-wrinkle products and all that stuff as being for skin that was already mature. That's a mistake. A lot of beauty products targeting, well, age issues should actually rather be incorporated in the skincare routines of younger people to prevent those signs of age from appearing. So, you know, if you're making the same mistake as me, at least now you know. But yeah, anyway, probiotics are a complete topic of their own, so I'm just gonna cut that short here. And so now at long last, let's move on to serums, the last section of my video today. This is where you can really go in to target a problem you're dealing with specifically. Serums have very high concentrations of active ingredients. They will actively, positively impact your skin. Depending on the star ingredient of your serum of choice, the serum may brighten your skin and combat dullness, smooth your skin to fight acne, calm your skin down to fight redness, etc., etc. If you want something treated on your skin, in most cases, a serum out there has got you. For me personally, serums are very much a product that you only need to apply a few drops of to your skin, and given how potent the active ingredient is, that is enough for the product to deliver the effects you wish to see. I typically, with my serums, always do 2 drops to my forehead and 1 on each cheek, and that's enough. And well, if it's not a kind of product where a little goes a long way, I might add a drop to my neck, but that's it. But do be aware that I have seen some really, really respectable and, you know, well-respected influencers call serums anything that essentially isn't one of your 3 basics. That means that to them, everything I just covered under toners, essences, ampules, those all count as a serum. So yeah, I just thought that's something you do need to bear in mind, especially if you're gonna then get caught up in the argument of how many serums is too many serums. If people aren't talking about the same thing, you're not gonna get anywhere in that conversation. It really depends how you define it. Right, so a serum, based on how I define it, is the product that comes in your skincare routine after you've cleansed and toned / used an essence, serum, and then after the serum, you can moisturize and apply your sunscreen. You can potentially use more than one serum, why not? But do remember what I mentioned above regarding doubling up on toners and essences and the risks that pose with regard to clashing ingredients or sensitizing your skin. That risk is increased with serums, as I define them, because of how much more potent and how much more concentrated serums are in their active ingredients. As a matter of fact, in worst case scenarios with serums, you can end up with chemical burns if ingredients really disagree with each other or your skin. So to be safe, I really wouldn't advise you to use several serums in a single skincare routine. Rather, you can target one issue in your morning skincare routine and another in your evening skincare routine. That's why it's great to have two different ones, one for the morning, one for the evening. Though again, you don't have to have different, or rather you don't have to have completely different products in your skincare routine. So for example, in the morning, you may want to target dullness in the skin. I personally always use vitamin C serums in the morning, and then in the evening you can use a different kind of serum, such as an anti-acne serum, which is typically what I used to use, or an anti-aging serum, which is what I use now. Time flies. Also, it's really worth pacing the introduction of serums in your routine, and just the introduction of new products in general, be it toners, serums, cleansers, so that if anything goes wrong, you immediately know what you need to retire from your skincare routine. And also immediately notice when something's working particularly well. Just be respectful and gentle to your skin, always. So as mentioned a million times by now, serums have very high concentrations of their star ingredient. So if you pick up a serum and find that it's irritating, maybe see if you can find a different serum with the same active ingredient if you need, but at a lower concentration. And when going for a new active ingredient, always start with the lowest percentage available. Or you can just try to pick a different star ingredient altogether. Another point, and this is especially true if you have sensitive skin, try to pick serums with a shorter ingredients list, because it just reduces the risk of you dealing with ingredients that your skin will not react very well to. Now, a point I can't really avoid talking about, especially because I care about keeping my skincare on a budget so much. It means a lot to me to do this within a certain budget. Serums can really be quite expensive. But the serum is the step where I'd say you can allow yourself to spend more. It's quite easy to keep the cost down on every other step of the skincare routine. Now, if there's another step or another product at a different step that you really care about and want to invest in, that is fine. And if you only want to invest in one step of your skincare and are picking that one, you can absolutely find serums on a budget, especially nowadays. Great. So while you can absolutely get a very decent serum on the cheap-ish, here's what I think you should know about pricing. One myth that I want to dispel immediately is that price does not equal quality. And I'm sure other people have said it before to you as well, but it's just so important to believe that. What the price of a serum does come down to really is, one, the cost of the star ingredient. How refined is it? How much care has been put into it and stabilizing it? And two, how big the marketing budget of the company/brand is for this specific product. If a company spends a load of money on marketing this product, and it's an ingredient that's well established, already has loads of research, well backed up, then the company is fairly comfortable that a lot of people are going to want to buy this product, and so they can afford to bump the price up, and often by like significant amounts. On the other hand, products, especially when they're at the concentration they're in serums, need to be tested again and again and again until the company is sure it's delivering reliable results, right? And this testing has a cost. So when a brand produces a serum at a really low cost, that's usually the step that's been skimped on. And there's different ways to be able to tell this, but notably if people are reporting weird reactions to the product while other people are extremely happy with it, that typically indicates that a product hasn't been tested as much as it probably should have been, which doesn't automatically make it a bad product. It just means, well, in particular, if you've got sensitive skin, you may want to be careful, but also if you try that product and your skin reacts to it, don't write that ingredient off, because it may just be that product, and when more refined or tested further and stabilized under a different brand, it may still work for you. Price aside, what else do you need to pay attention to when picking a serum? Well, first of all, the serum is automatically going to make a claim on its box. It's pretty much guaranteed. It's going to tell you what to use it for. It's good, if you can, to check the ingredients list of that serum and make sure it does have the ingredients that will allow it to have the effect it claims to have, right? And it sounds obvious, and you may think automatically, yeah, I mean, if it says it's going to do this and has X ingredient, it probably does. Well, recently, I'm subscribed to, subscription boxes. I receive subscription boxes every month, and recently I saw a product in one of my boxes, and I thought, oh, this is interesting. You know, I looked it up on the website. It claimed to have X, Y, and Z ingredients. But then when I actually looked at the ingredients list, I could not find that ingredient in the list. And this is super weird. I don't know if it's me, that, you know, I may still be a little bit ingredient illiterate, but yeah, I mean, it's very off-putting, and I'm not gonna throw that brand under the bus right now, but I'm very wary of them now. So do always check what the serum claims to do against the ingredients list. Rule number 1. Ooh, and make sure that the ingredients that the serum claims to have and use to produce the effect it claims to have is somewhere near the top of the ingredients list. If it's the penultimate ingredient, then this serum, or at least the marketing of it, isn't super legit. This is probably what you're already doing, but a second way to check if the product is going to work for you is to make sure that the people who like the product have the same skin type as you. So I like watching a range of influencers, people who have, you know, dry skin, oily skin, all skins, just to get a better, I guess, judgment of what ingredients work for what skin. But if you're watching me and have dry, dehydrated skin, just because something worked really well for me, it may not deliver the effects that you're hoping for on your own skin. Now, as mentioned previously, if your skin has any kind of condition, if there's anything you're looking to do for it, there's probably a serum out there to deal with it. But just to run through a few common issues and list what ingredients you may want to be looking for in your serum if you want to have that effect, let's have a few examples. Number 1, a very common one, if you are looking for a serum to add hydration to your routine because you have dry skin, for example, or are looking to strengthen your skin barrier, a great ingredient to look for is hyaluronic acid. A great part as well about hyaluronic acid, a great aspect of it, is that it can work with pretty much anything else. If you want to layer serums, if you want to have an active ingredient in one serum and then have an extra shot of moisture, you should be pretty comfortable going in with a hyaluronic acid serum. Hyaluronic acid can hold up to 1,000 times its weight in water. A great way of using it is, for example, to apply your hyaluronic acid serum and then mist your face so that you can actually give it water to retain and keep on your skin. If you're dealing with blemishes and want them to go away, ingredients to look for are the AHAs, BHAs, PHAs, LHAs. All of these are great at providing light exfoliation at different levels of your skin. This is not the time to go into detail as to how these different molecules work, but they're very good at providing that exfoliation to help your skin regenerate and promote a smoother, clearer surface of your skin. If you're dealing with dull skin or texture problem, vitamin C is a great ingredient to go with. I really should say always use sunscreen after all of these, but you should know that already because that is a fundamental step. I've tried a number of vitamin C serums, some more expensive than others, some in cream form, some in serum form. One I really liked, I think that is worth it for the price, is the Dear Claire's vitamin C serum. I don't have that one at the minute. At the moment, the one I'm using is the Real Vita C serum by Neogen. So this is it here. It's very typical. It comes in a dropper form. Not thrilled by the fact that the case is a bit transparent, so I keep it normally stored in my bathroom cupboard. to avoid light from coming in and destabilizing vitamin C. But if you use vitamin C, the thing to bear in mind is keep it away from sunlight, keep it well sealed, and try to use it fairly quickly because vitamin C goes off quicker than a lot of other active ingredients. And then that just becomes really irritating to your skin, so yeah, use it fairly quickly. It works great for me. I think vitamin C has done a great job at clearing my acne scars. That's the main thing it's done for me. And then depending on the percentage and the formulations, they're more or less brightening. And I do think the Dear Claire's one was more brightening than this Neogen one, but to be fair, it was so long ago that I used the Dear Claire's one and there was probably just more work to do on my skin back then. If you're dealing with aging skin or want to prevent or deal with aging in the immediate term even, retinol is the ingredient that is frequently recommended. The thing I'll say about retinol is that I have used all sorts of actives on my skin, and if you do not start with the weakest level of retinol you can find, you will be peeling. I jumped straight into 1% when I tried retinol, and that was a bad idea. Do not do a me. It was terrible. But you know, maybe that product was too strong for me, so you know, I stepped it down, and then now I've stepped it back up, and I'm really enjoying now Paula's Choice 1% retinol treatment with peptides and vitamin C. Retinol has a bunch of purposes. It's great, but do not use this every day. Again, retinol is a very powerful active. I use it twice a week maximum. Otherwise, I'll just start peeling all over again, and I don't want that. The beauty about various skincare active ingredients is that different issues have different solutions. So if you're dealing with acne scars, you know, vitamin C is not the only solution. There's a bunch of ingredients that can help you with that, and vice versa. If you're using vitamin C, you're not only treating acne scars, you're also going to be helping your skin brighten up. So I've only presented so far a non-exhaustive list of options for a particular problem, and each ingredient I've mentioned does a lot more than target just the issue I referred to earlier in this video. If you're looking for kind of a generic place to start and you don't want to expose your skin to harsh actives, a great ingredient to start with is niacinamide. Niacinamide is beautiful because it tackles a long list of issues. It's great for oily skin. I found that it did help with sebum production. It also helps with dull skin. It brightens up your complexion quite a bit. Nothing is the ultimate skincare ingredient, but it's a great one for a wide array of issues. So yeah, if you're not sure where to start, maybe pick up a niacinamide serum and see where you go with that. Miraculously, I think I've just made it to the end of this video, and so have you. Thanks so much for sticking with me until this point, guys. I think the main last thing I want to say is these products can't make up for an unhealthy diet or a lack of sleep or even worse, smoking. So I hope these products help you move forward on your journey to happy and healthy skin. But remember to keep yourself healthy in all other means possible. Thank you so much for listening, guys. It means a lot to me. If you enjoyed the contents of this video, please leave it a like and subscribe if you have not already. Please recommend to your friends and family if this is the kind of content they may enjoy. Leave any thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye!